Hello everyone, welcome to Harv's World for an Impromptu. I swear I told that thing not to repeat. I apologize. Hang on one second. Goodbye music. Oh, is that how this is going to go tonight? That's probably how it's going to go tonight. But it's Friday, it's impromptu. Who cares, right? Eric, Bradley, how you guys doing, man? Where are we at here? Well, I decided to start a new map, and you get to start it with me because I've looked at this for maybe 5 minutes, and jumped in for about 5 minutes. Lifehawk, how you doing, bud? And we're gonna take a look at Frankenmuth, starting off at New Farmer. Nice, Eric. Nice. Why do we have to go through this every time? So, Frankenmuth, Michigan is a place I have actually visited. I have been there. It's a nice town to visit. It's kind of the Christmas capital of Michigan. That's what they're really known for. This is not going to give you the town of Frankenmuth. It's going to give you the farming areas around Frankenmuth. But yes, it is this bloody flat. It really is. I'm interested to see on this map what New Farmer is gonna give me to offer. Jordan the Canadian kid, how you doing, bud? What's the good word? Looks like we've got a Mahindra Retriever and a pickup truck. Wow. Our own private shop, very nice. Lots of opening doors. KT, how are you doing, man? What's the good word? I gotta tell you guys up front, it has been, holy crap, that's a big header. It's been one heck of a week, and I gotta tell you, I could use some positivity, some good happy stories. If you guys got anything happy to chat about, I could use it, man. It's been, holy crap, have a few tractors, why don't you? Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. The big old case quad track, very nice. 5 tractors. That might be some money coming in. A big John Deere planter. I'm not sure about that. We're going to get this sorted out. Mr. Corbin. What's the good word, my nephew? Yeah, we're not to working with Ben just yet. Big old cultivator. Nice case 9250 with a corn header. And apparently I turned the lights on instead of opening the door. Holy, we got a ton of equipment to get started here. I'm not sure I'm going to keep all that. I could use the income more than some of those tractors. Holy shnikes, Batman. Oh, I should probably check my settings real quick just to make sure that they are. Do I want to do seasons this time around? I don't think so. I'm not going to do seasons. I'll leave the seasonal cycles going, but I'm just gonna play it straight. I've been doing seasons everywhere. Crop destruction off, plowing on, stone on, lime required on, weeds on. Fine, that's all fine. Automatic engine start. I hate that with a passion. I don't know about you guys. Fuel use is normal, and workers need to not buy anything because those guys are stupid expensive. Oh, outstanding, Eric, outstanding. Getting close to that gold. I can't wait to see it. I'm pretty excited about that, I have to be honest with you. We're going to slow time down real quick. Or for now, till we can figure out where we're at on this mofo. What do I think of the new update? What new update are you talking about, Juliana? And welcome. Welcome from South Africa, right? Am I right about that? These fields are massive, by the way. I mean, just this 11 is 18.6 acres. 12 is 37 acres. Good Lord. Do we not have crops in those? I'd have sworn we did. They're cultivated. They need to be plowed. Apparently not. Okay. They're basically ready for planting, except they all need to be plowed. That's nice. Stuck at home since they piled up snow behind your car. Yeah, your mom told me that that she wasn't sure about what was gonna happen. Or no. She told me that you were giving her crap because she didn't invite you to go to the store. And so now she feels like she has to invite you to go to the store, so. Alright, this is a seriously huge field. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then let's look at our garage so that I know exactly what we have. We've got more bloody tractors than you can shake a stick at. The case is 613 horsepower. I think these two John Deeres are going to go bye-bye. In fact, I knew these two John Deeres are going to go bye-bye. So, let's do this. I don't know, Juliana. I heard there's an update coming. That's the most recent information I have, is that there's an update coming, but I don't know what it is. All right, brother, you've got a job to do, and that job is going to be finding the shop. I'm not seeing the shopping basket on any of this. Really? You gotta be kidding me. Farmhouse. Bunch of factories. Yeah. Farmer's market. Oh, there it is right there. Vehicle shop. Okay. That's what I wanted to see. Oh, it's not showing up when I set him a destination, so. Alright, well. That's your target. Yeah. Oh, this is the wrong tractor. That's the tractor I want to get out of here. Oh, don't even sweat it, Juliana. I do that stuff all the all the bloody time. Literally, it's like. Oh, and I want you. Where was that? Where was that planter at? I want him to take that John Deere planter and get it out of here. I don't want it. I got a plan. And yeah, while we're setting up, I've got time slowed down quite well dramatically because I want to. Wrong garage. I don't even know where I'm going yet. Oh, let me catch up with you guys real quick. The other day we had a big ice storm and it knocked out power literally for the whole day. And it's been, yeah. You and about 20 other states, Bradley. Nasty weather has moved up northeast and has really hammered a lot of folks throughout the Midwest and whatnot. At least this thing doesn't have any seed in it. That's good. Oh, yeah, it was in the same garage as this tractor, and I didn't even realize it. That's good, Harv. Let's go for a drive, shall we? See if we can find that bloody shop. Do not cut trees on your property. It will stick your save game and make it unplayable until the map is updated. Only cut the good wood. Okay, duly noted. Juliana, I just read your comment again, and I'm like, it's not just your blonde brain. I've got one of those too these days. Yeah, for some reason, when I was trying to pick a destination, the shop wasn't showing up. So Well, I don't think I'm going to be. I don't think I'm going to be doing any logging just yet. How do you tell your AI to do grass field work? Well, you put a mower on the tractor or whatever grass field work you want them to do, a tedder or a windrower, and either send them off to the field you want them to work on or line them up on the field you want them to work on and hit H. We have experienced problems with trees on Elm Creek, though. Oh, Dad says so. Yes, I deciphered that once and had forgotten already. My apologies. And I've already passed the shop. Can I cut through here? Man, this thing is like tight steering. Whip it. Whip it good. Na 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 na. And my my yeah, that guy, I already got hung up on a stop sign. All right, I should have just tagged this to begin with. Nope, I was right. He was wrong. That's why I jacked that up. There are certain trees, even on Elm Creek, that will cause you no end of nightmares if you try to remove them the wrong way. There we go. That's the spot that I wanted. Right there, right there, right there. Stop. This should be worth a cool $500,000. $100,000 for that thing. Almost $322,000 for that thing. Oops. So how's everybody doing this week? Seriously. How's everybody doing? Like I said, for me, it's just been a brutal nightmare of a week. It really, really has. But hey, it is what it is. You do what you do. Whatever. Not gonna sit around and whine about it. Just gonna ask for happy, positive thoughts. There's another 350 grand right there. Outstanding. Now I have a problem with the fact that I don't have a tractor to haul anything back with. Yeah, I can sell more stuff off lately. They figure it out for themselves, Bradley. Anything good for sale here? You just tell them to do field work, and then based on whatever implement you have attached to the tractor, they're going to know what they're supposed to do. That's my understanding of it anyway. Now I have installed some Stevie's mods here. We're going to take a look at his version of the Fent, the 1050. 647 horsepower. Yeah, sign me up. Oh yeah, look at that. We could even make this a black beauty. Oh, we could even go. We could do Fent green on the. Ooh, I kind of like that. And of course we want GPS, and this is only going to cost us $373, and it's got 647 horsepower instead of the standard Fent 1050's 318 or 518. I mean, I didn't see any flotation tires on this Fent Lifehawk. He's got Trelleborgs, Michelins, and BKTs. Oh, the BKTs come in flotation. It looks like it anyway. Those are beastly tires. Alright, we can do that. Abso-floggin-lutely. And if we're going to do that, and with these massive, massive fields, then I think I need to go... no, not a planter. I need to go all full-blown Caveman customs. My boy Caveman did the multi-fruit Kinsey planters. 18.2 meters width. Oh yeah. Outstanding. Fridays are always solo. Lifehawk, almost always, or not Lifehawk, Bradley. Fridays are almost always solo. Not for any immediate purpose other than it's very late for those guys. And of course we're going to go with the Lizard 9. The 9MT in standard traditional Harv's World colors. There we go. Oh, they must be around the front. Yes, that would make sense since this is... Where's my stuff? Oh, there it is. I ran the wrong direction. Oh, under Trelleborg. Oh, I guess I went with BKTs, and they look pretty wicked. I'll be happy with that. When I get back to the farm, I'll have seed and liquid fertilizer delivered straight to the farm instead of having to come all the way over here. Now this area right here is what Lifehawk is referring to as factory row. Everything is just right along here apparently. You want to produce something? This is the place for it. Watch out for that traffic. Fuel depot. Looks like that's probably a bakery there. Watch it, Buster. Tractor coming through, man. Nice, evenly spaced factories, all in a row. Kind of spent the afternoon, early evening, looking at what maps are out there. And I'll tell you, if you guys aren't aware of it, Argsy, A-R-G-S-Y Gaming, has created a web page. It's almost like Google Maps, and any map that he discovers, he's putting on that Google Maps with links and information about what maps are out there, what are available. He's got them all coded as if they're, if they're real life location maps, or if they are imaginary maps, or if they are works in progress. If they're not ready yet, he's got all of that notated. It's a very slick site, I have to say. It really, really is. I could totally monster truck those cars. Yes, I could. Clobber the crap out of them. I'm not sure for what, Juliana, but you are very, very welcome. Yeah, some guys have been getting really creative with their stuff here lately. It's been impressive. There's a couple really nice websites out there now. One of them is like a site that will give you best prices, things like that. Oh my God, really? Oh, wait a minute. I need to look again, because that's not my farm. Oh, and I forgot to turn autosave. I hate autosave with a passion too. I know most people like it. For me, it drives me a little bit nuts. Did I miss something here? Oh yeah, I've got this field up here also. Okay. And it needs to be, all of my fields need to be plowed. And they all need lime. Good God. Okay. Whole lot of plowing going on. And liming. I don't think I have any kind of a lime spreader either. So I made myself an adult beverage, didn't have any ice, so I went outside and filled my cup with snow from the... That sounds good, Jordan, actually. That could be nice. Whatever strikes your fancy, Mr. Powell. That's the great thing about FS, all the FSs, you know? It's all about your game, play it your way. I maybe should have bought 2 of these plows. In fact, I know I should have bought 2 of these plows. Thank you, Stevie, for the Fent 1050 Black Beauty version with Fent green rims. That's I'm liking this a lot. I mean, you know, you guys know I love the 1050. But you do have to change it up once in a while, and sometimes just a color change is enough. Okay. Well, I know I'm going to need at least another plow, and I'm going to need a lime spreader. So I'm going to set my store deliveries right here. I'm going to grab another one of these plows. Oh, you're very welcome, Juliana. You are very welcome. That's what I do. I drink and I farm things. Oh, come on. Tell me that wasn't a little bit funny. Spreaders. Stevie, do you have something for me, brother? Oh, yeah. Only 18 meters, though. That's brutal. But it'll hold 22,900 liters. That's kind of a big deal when it comes to lime. Oh, at least I can change the color too. Definitely need the spreader discs. Yeah, that's going to be strictly for lime too. This'll work. This'll pull a plow. Although I saw something funky happen. I thought you'd be excited to see that, Lifehawk. I saw additional game settings come back out again. I know that was a big deal for you the last time. And my lime spreader is really funky. Or is it... What has happened there? It's like sunk into the ground. No, I'm not even lined up. Well, there, it's trying to pop back out. Okay, that's just weird. And let's start working some semi-normal. We'll do 2 times speed until I've got a feel for what the heck is going to happen here. We're going to run this guy over here. We're going to, well, I think tractors like this are going to end up basically being helper tractors anyway. I'm going to try to do this without... Whoa. That's quite the ditch. Okay, where's the entry to... There it is over there. Wow. Yeah, Lifehawk, we know. You and the birds. Now, are the deer bothering you as much as the birds used to? Seriously? Oh, crap. Okay. Alright, that tells me what my next step is. Rocks. Why'd there have to be rocks? At least this thing will turn around on a dime. He's snugged these fields right up against the trees, too. Look at this. And I'm hitting the wrong... It's definitely Friday night. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I haven't had that much to drink yet, really. Chase down the deer with a chainsaw and super speed. Wow. You go, Lifehawk Freddy Krueger. You go, brother. I see why he has... Well, okay, so there's like a large amount of equipment and stuff to get started with on this map. But then at the same time, you're sitting there going... I don't have a field roller. And you're going to need the biggest field roller you can get your bloody hands on. Alright, it's time to put a helper on this. I need to get the Fent working. I'm sitting in the middle of a field, but there was no field found. You are not going to do this to me. Okay, there yeah, there you go. Plow like the wind. I saw that one too, Lifehawk. It looked interesting. Looked very interesting, actually. Deer burger. Oh yeah, and there's no rock collector either, but that's okay because I've got the iconic rock pickers now, and I would just as soon use those. Oh, I do too have access to this land. Shut up. Sometimes this game whines too much. There we go. Look at the size of that field, man. We've only got one harvester, too, and I've got $200,000 left. This is going to get ugly. Loans are imminent. Very, very imminent. Oh, so what have you guys been up to this week? Anything good? Somebody tell me something good happened to you guys. And when is somebody going to come out with a butcher shop? A meat packing plant? You know Giants won't do it. They're all wishy-washy, and I don't want PETA coming after them. Although, for Harv personally, PETA stands for people eating tasty animals. But you know, do your own thing. Man, I like this tractor. I am digging this tractor, I gotta tell you. And yeah, we're gonna headland all the way around this thing. Really get a feel for how big it is. I mean, I don't have anything, you know, I don't have anything against vegetarians, you know. If that's your bag, please, by all means, be a vegetarian. But I am a carnivore and I refuse to apologize for it. It just is what it is. Somebody has done a serious wedgie on these trees over here. I mean, I appreciate, you know, utilizing as much land as you can to get crops in, but this is extreme. Well, whatever, Giants. You just sold 3 million copies of this game at 50 bucks a pop. I don't really think, well, it's it's your game. You made it your way. You got to respect people's decisions, even if they're not ones you would make yourself. Few ideas for making more products for the production chains, but modding isn't your thing. You need to get in contact with my buddy Caveman. Hand those ideas off to him. He might be able to make it happen. Sharko actually decided to work on his first mod. This is Sharko we're talking about here. Keep that in mind. But and it's actually a production product. I don't want to spoil. If he wants to let people know, then he can tell them. But I might, considering the size of this, I might have to go real speed limit on this. I actually might have to do that. Let me get a pass around first, because we're going to be here all night just plowing fields if I don't. I mean, this is only a one-times map, but man, he's made this multiplayer playable easily. Now, Sharko is a very dear friend, and I would not say anything derogatory toward him, but he is easily distracted. That's exactly right, Jordan. It's going to be third party no matter what. I wanted to see if Stevie had done any alterations to the inside of the Fent. Well, it looks pretty standard. Got the little cooler there on my left elbow. Got a jump seat. Anybody want to go for a ride? Probably not. Oh, there is a rear-facing camera though. I don't do cab view very often. So maybe all tractors have rear-facing cameras and I don't know it yet. Easy Rider, how you doing, bud? That's perfect, Bradley. That's how I do it. And I think a lot of people do that. Hang out in the stream, listen to what's going on, play their own game. I mean, it's farming simulator. This isn't a first-person shooter where there's constant excitement and action all the time. It's farm sim. We plow and we grow things. And oh my goodness, Adolphus Coors is being very, very good to me this evening. Thank you, Adolphus. You, sir, are much needed. So, Lifehawk, quick question for you. I know you've paid attention, and you're sort of the pop culture guru. Any word on when Clarkson Farm Season 2 is going to come? Honestly, I don't know what it is, but that series just really, I don't want to say got under my skin because that sounds negative. I mean, just like I latched onto it and can't stop thinking about how much I love it. Oh, that's a good point, Lifehawk. Yeah, let me get this guy running on an actual GPS course. I'll bet there's some massive contracts out there too. If the fields for me are this size. Roll, brother, roll. Nope. Not yet, anyway. Let me refresh contracts and see if anything good pop. Oh. Spraying field 39. We'll take that. And probably field 34, too. Hey, Michael Villafana. How you doing, bud? Greetings from northwestern Nevada. Alright. Let me just throw a helper on the Fent right now. Let's go find another tractor. Let's see if this little Massey will pull that sprayer. Assuming I can find the sprayer now. Oh, there it is. I see it over there. I see it. Good, good. Glad to hear that. Alright. Herbicide. That's spendy. Come on, Commander. Hey Kyle, hey Wet Coaster, and everybody else, man. 20 people on a Friday night. Good to have you all with us, man. Thank you for dropping in. Casual Friday, checking out the Frankenmuth map. It is flat, flat, flat with really big fields, at least so far. That's what I've experienced. Come on, Massey. Rock and roll. Okay, what was the big contract? Field 39. Create job. Field work. 39. Mr. Swede. How's Sweden treating you, Mr. Swede? Even though, well, currently you're in France. And let's get some real speed working here. These fields are massive. Let's just frickin' do it right. What if I was the first governor of Antarctica and make a article a country and regions state? If you're the first governor of Antarctica, knock yourself out, brother. Do whatever it is you want to do. Well, Jordan, this is what happens when you just ignore the ice cube trays and don't fill them back up. And I say that because I know from personal experience. Oh, that's right. The Olympics are the highly politicized Olympic Games today. That's what I'm talking about. Plowing at 29 miles an hour. We might not be plowing all night after all. 12-hour shift, man. I'm glad you're doing okay. I hope you're psyched for 12 hours. Wow. Rough action, man. I don't even want to do something fun for 12 hours. Usually. Why not, Michael? I'd visit your country. I'm not going to give up my U.S. citizenship for anything, but I'd definitely visit your country. That's right, Harley. It's Casual Friday. I can do what I want. Only cheating a little bit. Come on, give me a break. It's Lifehawk's fault. He reminded me that I had the real speed mod installed. Absolutely, Jordan, absolutely. You know, you could just take whatever bottle you're mixing out there and set it in the snow and let it chill while you're imbibing, right? That's what I would. I mean, if I had like a 12-pack of brewskis, I'd just take them out in the snow and let them cool out there. Actually, Mr. Swede, no, I could not sleep for 12 hours. I can barely sleep for 7. Although it would be awfully nice sometimes to just fall asleep for about 3 days. The sad part is I'm going to have to take the rocks off of this field. Even though these are rollable rocks, also known as rolling rocks. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure places like that, Michael, go through an awful lot of vitamin D. Isn't it vitamin D that you're missing when you don't get sunlight, so you're supposed to take it every day so you don't get the wintertime blues or whatever they're called? There you go, Bradley. If it's below freezing, you might as well let Mother Nature help you out, right? Abso-flogging-lutely. I am digging this Fent, man. Thank you, Stevie. I like that. I like it a lot. It's a Fent 1050 with attitude. Harvitude. A Fent 1050 with Harvitude. Well, I'm going to place a lime production point here in just a minute. When I'm ready to start pulling rocks, I'm going to place that so I can get free lime. Because all these fields, and you see how big they are, they're going to need freaking lime. And even though lime is cheap, that much lime is going to be ridiculous. Oh yeah, the slushy version is good, especially if you're making margaritas. I like frozen margaritas best. I'm going to assume the T stands for 1050 Turbo. I don't think Stevie really really tells you what it stands for, but since he boosted the engine power of the Fent 1050 from 518 to 647 or whatever it is, I'm assuming it stands for turbo. It does have this big funky stack on it. I don't think I've... Does the regular 1050 have that? I don't think it does. I don't know. Alright, Michael, if you ever make Antarctica a country, the South Pole will be the capital. Then don't you think that you have to come up with a competitor for Santa Claus then? You know, your opposite ends of the earth, polar opposites, if you will. Don't you think you have to, come up with your own version of Santa Claus at that point? Stephen Murray, how's it going, man? Welcome to Harv's World on Friday night. Impromptu, casual, Frankenmuth, Michigan. Farting around, doing whatever I want to do. Actually, I know what I need to do. On this map, with fields of this size, getting started out, I know what I need to do. I should have done that to begin with, and it would give me a good opportunity to do some testing also. Oh yes, Miss Beck's. Miss Beck's mods may just have to come out to play if we do this again in the future. That's actually a really cool effect, Wet Coaster. I've had a 2-liter of like Diet Coke before. Put it in the freezer, and what happens is it can get to a point where it's the coldness is below freezing, but it hasn't frozen yet. And the minute you jiggle it or move it or whatever, you can just watch it crystallize right in front of your eyes. It's pretty cool to watch, actually. I'm hanging in, Steven. I am hanging in. Like I said, it's been a very, very, very rough week. Any positivity, any positive vibes you all can send my way, I could sure use them. I don't know, Lifehawk. That's kind of why I threw in the whole testing thing. Give me a chance to do some testing, because honestly, I haven't had a chance to play with her mods yet, except for that bunker silo that we used on Elm Creek the other day. Which we're going to have to... I'm not sure that those bunker silos worked well on multiplayer, because it seems to have broken, but we're not entirely sure yet. And I think it's because it was my bunker silo, but Caveman sealed it. So we'll have to see. I understand, KT. I understand. I wish the consoles would open up a little bit more for you guys. You guys do understand that this is not a Giants issue, right? That it's the console makers themselves that keep you guys from having these wonderful toys. Eddie, he's actually my nephew, and we haven't had a chance this week yet to discuss it. I think it's going to happen, but I got word at work this week that over the next few weeks I might be traveling quite a bit, so I'm not entirely sure what my schedule is going to be like. The sooner the better. Although I'll tell you, I think I have decided that if we're going to do it, it needs to be on one of the base game maps that... Because it's going to be like a tutorial series, right? And it needs to be on a base game map that people are going to be introduced to right away. Brand new players who've never played before, I don't think doing a mod map would be the right way to go for that. Just like I did with Ravenport on FS19. That seems like a logically sound decision to me. Feel free to call me insane. I'm good with that. It's probably mostly true, too. Oh, that's interesting, Lifehawk. I've downloaded the mods that she's made available so far. But I really just haven't had a chance to crack open the zip files and take a look at them completely yet. But that might just be, I mean, fields this size, we are approaching Beck's bigger, better, faster, more mentality. Especially if it's going to be a single player. And I got to tell you guys, my Erlengrat playthrough that I was doing impromptus on previously, it's kind of progressed to the point where it sells. No more grass work on Erlengrat. Nope. I've got two fabric factories, 2 spinneries, a tailor, 2 bread factories, or 2 bakeries, I should say, and a grain mill, and fields that are producing more than all of those factories can manage. I think I conquered Erlengrat. Although I literally was playing it an hour and a half before I started this stream. Jordan the Canadian Kid. Pop, I have. Have you pop? Dost thou pop? Production, carpentry, both US and EU. How is carpentry different in the EU than it would be in the States? Different timbers, maybe? I don't know. Oh, nice wet coaster. Well, I gotta be honest with you, Eddie. Since I just finished playing Erlengrat, well, and I'm probably not completely done with it yet, but I wouldn't be terribly inspired to redo Erlengrat. Elm Creek is a little bit different because we only play that a couple times a week when Caveman and Sharko are available, and that's our primary stream. and that's 3 guys playing at the same time. So single player on that would be quite a bit different, and it's probably to date the most popular map for FS22 so far. Now everybody says they're jealous of the GPS mod, but I'm sitting here plowing at 28 miles an hour, and nobody has said they're jealous of the real speed mod yet. Oh man, and that field 4, I noticed that before, but I didn't say anything. Field 4 has telephone poles in the middle of it. That's going to be obnoxious. Very obnoxious. You'd have to get used to the extreme temperatures of Antarctica. That's easy enough. Stay inside. If I'm living in Antarctica, I'm teleworking. I'm not going out there every morning and scraping 1.5 inches of ice off the windows of my car. Forget about it. Not going to happen. I saw that too, Lifehawk. I haven't installed it yet, though. Because now it's an issue of I can't update anything until I make sure that all of our play servers are updated and all of that stuff, so. But yeah, it looked pretty good. Some bug fixes, things of that nature. Very nice indeed. It is actually Wet Coaster. Try the real speed mod without the GPS and see how it goes. Oh, I can do that. Cause see, I have my mini map in the left-hand corner that tells me the degrees I'm headed. I can stay on a pretty respectable track even at speed. I'm not just being braggadocious either. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh, yeah, I just cracked open my 4th adult beverage so far. We're really an hour in already? Man, where does the time bloody go? Seriously. OMFG. Alright. I'm shutting down GPS. I'm on my track at the moment. Basically. GPS is off. You can see, and we'll see what Harv can do to stay on a straight line. 180 degrees, 0.0. 180 degrees, 0.0. 180 degrees, 0.1. 79.9, 80.0. No GPS. And the Fent 1050 is rock solid down this field. Go Fent. Go Fent. Some of you might be wondering why I traded in 2 John Deere tractors for 1 Fent. Just think about that statement for a minute and you'll understand why. There you go. No GPS, real speed. Straight down the field. Thank you, KT. Thank you very much. I've had a little, you know, and I will be absolutely honest about this. It was probably a year of me playing FS19, and that was when I started. FS19 is the first I ever started, before I realized that your heading was in your mini-map. That 360 degrees that you can, well, maybe see, depending on your screen size there in the lower left-hand corner. I didn't even notice it, like, forever. But I was still learning the game as I was making videos. So you had the real mud mod and your tractor was sliding on concrete? That's not supposed to happen, Bradley. That's just wrong. I think your concrete contractor had fouled something up there, brother. Lifehawk, now have Sharko do it. Not in my Fent 1050. Whatever tractor he wants. I'm surprised he's not here. And I know I saw you come in, Kev. I know I did, brother. And I don't think I said hi, so thank you. Well, it's such a tiny number, Lifehawk. You know, it's sitting down there. You look at your mini map to kind of get a feel for where you're at, but is that tractor really just sitting over there, or I guess I should check on my other tractors and see what they're doing. He's sitting right there. Why are you sitting there? Don't even tell me you finished that field. I know you haven't. Oh, you did? Oh, well. Excuse me, I apologize. He did finish that field. Wet coaster, nice. You need the real chains mod to go. I wish we had a real chains mod. That would be pretty cool. That actually did a pretty good job on this field, plowing it. Oh, I totally forgot about this, but come on. Come on, Challenger. You realize Challenger is just another Agco brand, and you know, it does the whole Fent thing also. Well, if you don't know, you can change the size of the mini-map. Just hit the 9 key on your keyboard. You can make it square or make it big. Or make it disappear altogether. Alright, Challenger. You're up to bat one more time. Right here. So you're parked in a dry. You've been sitting here doing nothing the whole time? Sigh. That's what I get for not paying attention. Oh my god, this sprayer is ugly, squirrely, nasty. This is never going to work on a helper either. I'm going to have to do it myself. Nope, never going to work on a helper. Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. That's right, downshift. What? Yeah, we're going to have to do this ourselves. I'll come back over and do this later. Make the extra money. You just park right there. I'll be back. I'm not that far away from being done with this. Well, in-game HUD scale is going to make your entire HUD bigger, right? So even my speedometer would get bigger, and my weather information would get bigger, and all of that stuff would get bigger. And I'll show you what I mean. So if I went in the in-game menu, or is it this one? Not seeing it just yet. Yes, Bradley. Contracts can be very, very good on this game, and it's pretty much what you would have expected from FS19. The fertilizer contracts are the best. Herbicide contracts can be very good now. Plowing contracts aren't too shabby, and you still get the same thing out of harvesting contracts as you did before. Oh. It's before you get into the game? Like the initial settings before you start the game? Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, I can say one thing about this particular map so far, and that's if you really want a map that is perfectly flat, this is the map for you. You'll never have to worry about your placeables on this map because it's flat. Extremely flat. Flatness extraordinaire. Although to be fair, and I just to make sure that my memory was not off kilter, I did go to Google Maps to Street View on a road next to some big agricultural fields just outside of Frankenmuth, Michigan, and yes, it is this bloody flat. Crazy flat. Because when we were driving up there from Indiana, I mean, you go through quite a bit of rolling hills and stuff, and I was thinking, I don't know, Frankenmuth seems like it's rolling hills, but then I went back just to check my memory, and oh yeah, it's bloody flat. And if you ever go to Frankenmuth, I have to tell you, they have got this fried chicken buffet that is just to die for. Oh my gosh. Fantastic fried chicken. And I'm just a nut for fried chicken anyway. And it's a fried chicken buffet actually. And any fried chicken they don't sell, they like tear it up and make into chicken salad and all kinds of stuff like that. It's amazing. That's a good point, Lifehawk. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't had the time to play with the new landscaping tools as much. And what I have played with is not terribly intuitive. And I honestly think FS19 landscaping tools were better, but I might be biased because I feel like I have a very solid handle on FS19 landscaping. The Netherlands is all flat, just like this map. Interesting. Very interesting. I would love to visit the Netherlands, honestly. The windmills and the tulip fields. Have to go in spring, because that would just be gorgeous. Someday you too. May finish plowing a field. Somebody made a comment on a video, and this would be one of my arguments with FS22 so far, and that is that, you know, if I've got a well-worked field that I have pulled rocks out of over and over and over again, those rocks should stop needing to be picked at some point. So I think realistically you might harvest or pick rocks off your field 3 or 4 times and then go in and switch the setting to off. Because nowhere in the world are you going to end up with rocks constantly on your fields all the bloody time. Oh, Easy's right up there in that neck of the woods. Flint, Michigan. Nice, man. Saskatchewan is flat. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is. I've been to Saskatoon. I remember that being pretty flat. And I think I even came up out of Montana. That was 25 years ago, though. A long, long time ago. I can still remember when I drove to Saskatoon. Oh, yeah, it's Friday, all right. Almost done with this big mother. Finally have a possible fix for my RC car driving away on its own. Another of my friends on Discord, since I have fully charged batteries, because it's a low battery can cause unexpected behavior. Okay, interesting. There is a big time farmer in Saskatchewan. I think it's Saskatchewan. That has a YouTube channel. And I mean, he does hundreds and thousands of acres. Mike something. He's ornery. Really ornery. Last pass in this bloody field is plowed. I used to watch him quite a bit. Haven't had the opportunity lately. Oh, now if there's a place in Canada I would love to visit, wet coaster, it's Banff. Banff National Park, or whatever you guys call it up there. It just looks stunningly beautiful. Okay, well, one thing I know I'm going to have to buy no matter what. First off, is one of them there things that I can't seem to find at the moment. Why am I not seeing that? I'm just blind today. Oh, stone pickers. The Scorpio XL by Iconic. And we're not going to change the color because it's kind of funky with the colors. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to change the capacity considering the size of these fields, though. That's spendy. I'll spend the money for 25,000 liters, but not for 50. Definitely not for 100, and definitely not for... Oh my gosh. He will allow you to buy capacity up to 1,000,000 liters on this thing. I'll buy 25,000. Mike Mitchell, thank you, Lifehawk. Mike Mitchell, that's the guy. Glad my daughter can be in the room for these streams and I don't have to wear headphones. That's actually one of my big rules. It's something I'm very adamant about, is that we keep these streams as family friendly as possible. I'm not going to say we're always successful, but 99% of the time, family friendly is the way we go on Harv's World. And that has always been important to me on my Discord, everywhere. There was one time that somebody actually asked me, you know, what's the big deal with a little profanity? And I'm no prude. I mean, I can be just as vulgar as the next guy, and have been to a point where I would embarrass my mother. No exaggeration. But I told him, I said, you know what? I said, first off, it's not necessary. It's just something that we do. But more importantly, you're never going to offend somebody. You're never going to offend somebody by not swearing. Like, have you ever heard anybody get upset because you didn't utter a swear word? Nope. But you can easily offend somebody by running off at the mouth and not knowing when to stop swearing. So, family friendly has always been very important to me, and I'm glad you appreciate it. Dad says so. Or I'm glad that your daughter is able to listen in. Maybe she'll pick up on a tidbit here or there. Mostly it's probably just Harv going, Anyway, enough said. Oh, the real life farmers really rake in the subs. They really do. And good for them. Seriously. I mean, you know, it's better for the cute girls that farm. I'm not stupid enough to know that that's not the truth of it. Same with gaming channels. If I could get away with wearing a bikini and I was cute and 19, yeah, I'd have 3 times as many subs, maybe 10 times as many subs. Because, you know, there's all those young men out there who are easily impressed by such things. Crotchety old farts like me, not so much anymore. I'm not going to say I don't appreciate a cute girl myself, but it's not what's going to get me to subscribe to that channel. Oh, anyway, moving right along. Harv, the dirty old man. And I was just talking about being family friendly. I didn't say anything too out of line, right? Millennial Farmer's pretty respectable. I never really got into him much, but he's a decent enough guy. It's not that I have any problem with him or whatever. It wasn't one I picked up on. Who hasn't heard of Laura Farms, Bradley? Honestly. Oh yeah, Mike Mitchell runs a lot of Fent. He does run a lot of Fent, Lifehawk. And to be honest, he's got such a huge operation that the dealers are making deals with him to get him to run equipment and test it out. He doesn't even have to buy a lot of his stuff anymore just because. Oh, you know what? No, that's a bummer. Oh well. I forgot about Caveman's new method for plowing and stone picking. You can run this stone picker behind the plow that I've been using because they're both exactly 9 meters. And I forgot. Oh, if you know about Mouse 2222, you probably, and I'm not saying this to be cocky or anything, but you probably know about him from watching me. Because Mouse and I go back a ways now, and Bex as well. I met Mouse through Bex, and he used to come in here quite a bit. But then I started working, and he streams during the day when I'm at work, so I haven't had a chance to check on his streams lately. He's a very casual guy. He just plays for fun. Literally, I mean, like, not that I don't play for fun. I absolutely play for fun, but he's just totally laid back about it. Mouse just doesn't care. He's like, watch if you want to, go away if you don't. This is just me playing my game, and if you don't like that, um, get over it. And this thing hauls down the field. I'm going to try to do one more headland and then set this guy on a worker so I can go spray that field. Because that field is going to be just a bit of a challenge to try to put a worker on because of all the poles in the middle of it and such. Larson Farms, that's a big one too, KT, absolutely. I actually started my real life farming video watching on 10th generation dairyman. That's one that really caught my interest in a big way. And that the guy who does that, I mean, he's like, he might be 22 now, 23, and that kid has such a strong work ethic. It's not even funny. I was just genuinely impressed by how hard he works at such a young age. He said, this is what I want to do. This is what I've got to do to make it bigger. And he gets out there and does it every day. And that's where I learned that, you know, basically what we do for silage in game is pretty much, you know, that's true to life. That's what the dairy farmers do for silage. Chop corn, throw it in a bunker silo, and drive heavy equipment over it until it's compacted properly. Yeah, exactly, Lifehawk. I like that kid, man. He's a good guy. That's where I learned about Total Mix Ration from, too. Genuinely, if you're running a beef cattle operation, beef cattle operators don't use as TMR. I'm sure some of them can and some of them probably do, but as a rule, that's a dairy farming operation type thing. TMR is very much more associated with dairy farms than it is with cat or just beef cattle. Oh, I don't think I saw that one, Lifehawk. That's true, Gary. Or yeah, Wet Coaster, Gary. We don't throw old tires, but I have had bunker silos mods where I could throw old tires if I wanted to. Of course, when I came back into the game, all of those tires had been reset, but um, that's neither here nor there. Okay, Mother Nature and I need to have a chat. Hour and a half already. Man. And I will be back in just a second. Alright, enough of that elevator music. And why is my game sound not playing? There it is. Oh, yeah. Howard Hessman. Great. WKRP in Cincinnati was fantastic. I love that show. That was my era. Holy crap, somehow this guy managed to make his way. Well, he hasn't done a good job around the poles, but he's still plowing and has made his way kind of around the poles. I'll have to come back and do some cleanup, but hey, as long as he's still working. Alright, let's see if we can't get this spraying done. Let's get some surreal speed going, as Wet Coaster puts it. Wet Coaster, you're still planning to join us on stream, right? You were one of our raffle winners. And I believe Caveman and Sharko have a date set for you at this point. So, looking forward to that in a big, big way. Cheers, Night Court. Yeah, Cheers was great. I've actually got Norm and Cliff pop figurines sitting right in front of me. Norm, how's it shaking? Or no, Norm, what's shaking? All 4 cheeks and a couple of chins. Love Norm and Cliff. Those guys were great. Sam and Diane. Kind of the same era, though. I liked Family Ties a lot, too. You know, back before Back to the Future. Made Michael J. Fox really famous. Family Ties was his gig. Being a young Republican. Yep, we've got it all sorted, Gary. We've got it sorted. We're looking forward to having you, too. Nobody else has really responded to us about potentially joining us on stream, so unfortunately, the raffle didn't go as well as we anticipated, but hey, I know Bradley had a good time while he was hanging out with us, and I hope you do too, Gary. I don't know how much longer we're going to be on Elm Creek, I'll be honest with you. It took us so long to get up and running. And now that we have, well, we got a while yet. I'm not going to say we're going to bail out anytime soon necessarily, but I think we are starting to approach the end of the, holy crap, Harv. Way to waste herbicide, brother. This tractor's a little bit small for this this sprayer, just a little bit. It's all right. See, and here's the situation where I don't have GPS. This tractor has no GPS on it, and we're trucking this field. Not too much of a problem. Spray. Spray like the wind, little Massey. Co-conspirators. I like the sound of that, too. Oh, good. We get to get you out of your honeydew list for that day. That's good to know. Gary can't be honeydewing that day. He's, come on, get around that pole. That's right. Sometimes you got to force the issue. Gary can't do any honeydew that day. He's busy with Harv and Caveman and Sharko. Only thing you got to know to be on stream with us is hashtag BSC. That's it. That's all. Oh, Eric, the poles definitely have collision. I've been hanging up on these poles every time I go past them. I have no idea, Bradley. Personally, I avoid electronic vehicles like the plague. I've never used one. I'm old school combustion engine. That's the way Harv rolls. Give me internal combustion all day long and twice on Sunday. Yeah, right? Where's that chainsaw when you really need one? Yeah, these electrical poles could certainly use it. I wonder what would happen if I... probably can't even use a chainsaw on them, unfortunately. That's kind of a bummer. Sharko needs another Canadian. I got to be honest with you. We're kind of flooded with Canadians in the chat, so I think having 2 Americans and 1 Canadian kind of balances things out. Although, you know, all things considered, you know, I mean, Sharko believes that they make imitation vanilla out of beaver squeezings. So I'm not sure how well you guys are represented by him, but again, he's a dear friend, so who am I to be negative? Nobody. What we really need on stream is an Aussie. We've got a really big Australian following, so maybe we need to find an Aussie to represent. That's what I would say. Mr. Checkers 37, welcome to the stream, and that's right, U.S. representing. Although to be fair, you know, it is Harv's World, and Harv's World is by default a U.S. channel, so and I really have not been paying attention to where or what I've been spraying on this field, so I hope this contract completes pretty soon and I'm not too far off the mark. I guess I better check. 95%. Okay. Well, if that's the case, yeah, that would be why we're at 95%. Look at that train wreck of a spraying job I did. Wow. Hey, if she'd be willing, I'd gladly have Bex on. Gladly. See what I can get right through here. See if we can get that 100% just by running this line right here. There we go. Flawless victory. Oh, well, good. Glad to hear that, Mr. Checkers. That always makes all the hard work worthwhile. You guys would be amazed at how much people take the videos for granted. And I'm not gonna say I need a bunch of smoke blowing up my proverbial posterior or anything, but YouTube videos take a lot. If you want to do a quality job, Field 34. They do take a lot of hard work. I would say 5 to 6 hours per video. Okay, we're down there at the end. Get mouse and Bex. I wouldn't have to do anything. I would just be color commentary at that point. And there goes mouse with 347 mods. Okay, I keep forgetting about the culverts on this map. Yeah, that was a pretty lousy spraying job, but I did get it done. And I got paid for it. Didn't I collect on that? I thought I did. I guess I didn't collect. There we go. Now it's collected. I'll bet it look, I didn't miss a single spot. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. They are camo culverts. They kind of are. You don't see them until you're right up on them. Oh, I'm sure she does too, Gary. Bex, absolutely. Only a million? That actually seems kind of low to me. If it's not 20 million, I would be surprised. Okay, this field is actually pretty wide open, and if I can get lined up initially, I'm gonna set this guy off as a helper. But right now I'm in the way of those trees, and that's not gonna do me any good. I'm gonna circle around and see if I can't come in for a better landing approach. There we go. That's better. That's better. There we go. Eric, you've done so many contracts now you have to buy fields. That sounds about right, man. And this guy is still collecting rocks. And he's only got 10,000 liters. That's the downside. Only 10,000. She did, Jordan. She absolutely did. In fact, I think any sign that I made after that was on Beck's signs with her permission to do my own artwork on the sign. The Harvested sign on Off the Grid is an example of that. Okay, so I need productions and this thing. That seems like as good a place as any. There we go. Oh, I just wrecked that guy's field a little bit. Oh well, he'll get over it. Oh, if you're not buying the fields, you're only getting transport. You need to get the better contracts mod, Eric. You're on PC, right? Get the better contracts mod, man. It will save your life. It saved my life on since Jordan brought it up on Chellington. What happens on Chellington is there's so much grass work on for contracts on Chellington that eventually ends up being the only contracts you have. And if you watch the first few episodes of Chellington, like I was doing grass work like it was coming out of my ears. But then I found the better contracts mod and my life was saved. Oh, and even refresh. Yeah, try better contracts. What better contracts does is not only does it refresh the contracts, it basically gives you a longer list of contracts to start with, and it will, if there is the ability to do work on any field on the map, it will create a contract for it. If I'm remembering that right, and I'm pretty sure I am. Better contracts is definitely the way to go. Definitely the way to go. Or something. No, Eric. Mercury Farms is not. It is not 4X. It's a 1X map. I loved playing Mercury Farms. I was very, very, very early into my playthroughs on FS19. I played Mercury Farms before I ever made a video. But I thought it was a great map. I really enjoyed the time playing on that. Alright, there's 10,000 liters of stone, and that thing can start turning it into lime because I have to lime all of these bloody fields. I will put Mr. Helper back on this, and we'll go check out Mr. whatever his name is. You know, it's funny you should mention that, Lifehawk. And honestly, I do say that intentionally. Because I watched the Many Saints of Newark today. So, yes, I am a Sopranos fan. I can't say that I was impressed by the... There I go again. The Many Saints of Newark was okay. But it wasn't all that. It wasn't nearly as good as what you would expect from The Sopranos. But it was okay. Why do you ask, by the way? Yep, young young Tony Soprano was played by Michael Gandolfini's son, because Michael Gandolfini, well, would be too old, but he also passed away not too long after the Sopranos ended. And it's been maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. It's a shame. Oh yeah, the Sopranos was amazing, just absolutely amazing. Yeah, I figured as much. I think I'm going to have to buy a chainsaw just to... So, Lifehawk, you're saying don't cut down any trees around here on this map for the time being? Wow, it was 2013, man. How out of touch have I been? Okay, so it's been almost 10 years since James Gandolfini died. That's a wow. Never mind. But you're right, man. You're absolutely right. We don't get quite that quality level anymore. I really have a hard time finding series that I really want to watch anymore, just because I think I've watched too many really good ones. Oh, the opening song is very good. Woke up this morning, got myself a gun. Which, of course, they played at the end of The Many Saints of Newark. I really wasn't that impressed by that movie, though. It didn't fill the gap for me. And Christopher was always such a whiny pee pants anyway, and he was like the narrator, and I was like, yeah, who cares? He's just a whiny pee pants. Yeah, I saw that, Bradley. I saw you let everybody know about that, which I appreciate. Well, then that begs the question, Lifehawk. Have you watched Dexter New Blood yet? Because I have watched all of Dexter, and I have watched Dexter New Blood, which I was actually a little bit surprised by. Only by the ending. I didn't realize it was a one and done type situation. And this pole really shouldn't have farmland right up against it. In the real world, that would not happen. But, you know, this is very real world, so... Well, that is true, Lifehawk, but the movie was touted as the development of Tony Soprano. If you look at any of the synopsis for the movie, it specifically states that, you know, this is where Tony Soprano came from. And to a degree, that's true. I don't know. I just feel like it was a little bit disjointed. It didn't really fall in line with what we expected. What I expected, anyway. That is true, Lifehawk. They are setting up a potential spin-off. I'm not entirely convinced that Harrison takes after Dexter as much as they would like us to believe, though. In fact, I subscribed to Showtime just to watch Dexter New Blood, and canceled today because it's been over for quite some time. Man, just prepping these fields is going to be a bloody nightmare. I mean, we're not even close to being prepped and ready to plant anything yet. They all still need rock picked. They all still need lime. The first field's not even rock picked yet. Although, to be fair, I could get away with not rock picking most of these as long as I roll them, because these are all the tiny rocks, so the roller would take care of them. But they all need lime, so I need all the stones I can get to make lime. It wasn't as dynamic as the original series, and I'll be honest with you, and it's been a while since I've watched The Sopranos, but I didn't understand the development of the guy who was sleeping with Dickie Molasanti's Gumar wife, whatever she was, the Italian babe who came over, and you know how he sort of won out at the end. Like when the credits start to roll, you actually sort of see him winning whatever battle he was trying to win. So I'm not entirely sure what was going on with that, but whatever. Hey, look at that. My lime spreader has jumped back up out of the earth. Well, I thought it might fill, but apparently... oh, that's because I haven't activated. That's brilliant, Harv. Brilliant. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's kind of what I expected. I just wasn't sure. Alright, what I want to see is this. So it doesn't matter what we plant now. Because obviously, we're not playing seasons, so we can plant what we want, when we want, how we want. Nothing good for sale. I need seeds. Welcome back, Michael. Yeah, that's probably the truth of it, Lifehawk. Just adding a little diversity. I was just trying to place him in the original series, you know, like who was that guy and why? But I'm sure you're right. I personally have not done olives, but Sharko has, and it wasn't pretty. Was not pretty at all. The thing with olives is, you know, you've got to have one heck of a nest egg. You really have to be ready to spend some big, big, big cash to put in a respectable olive field. Oh, come on, I'm not that far away. $13% off, good for a case harvester. Olives are the new potato. How are olives the new potatoes? Exactly, Jordan. I think I would need like 4 harvesters to really get it done. Oh yeah, I'm broke. There's no doing olives or grapes right now. Nope, 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 nope. Not gonna happen. We need like some mega cash crops in these fields to bring in real money. That right now is when I'm really happy to not be playing seasons just for that reason. Cause dang. Are you gonna spread this thing out or what? Yeah, we're just barely getting started, man. And I am going to swap the Fent out for this tractor as soon as I can. Oh, shoot. Can I do this before I put lime on? Can I put lime on after I seed? You could in FS19. I'm going to assume that I can. Olives are the new potatoes. Well, you know what I should have done? I should have broken out that big case. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, Eric, because I always did potatoes in straight lines. I never did any kind of a zigzag pattern with potatoes. It was always just straight line plant potatoes. Honestly, I mean, I'm like, oh, what's he talking about with zigzagging potato planting? You run that potato planter and you drop it down and you run a straight line with it. I don't get it, brother. Oh, I will as soon as I get this this headland done. The headland on this is kind of a nightmare. Once I can get around this, then I will real speed this like a mofo. Now you better run, deer. Harv's a professional. Yes, Harv's a professional. The real question is, a professional what? If I had to answer the question, Harv's a professional what, I would say Harv's a professional idiot. But that's just me. And we're also family friendly, so as I said earlier. Oh crap. I jacked this up. I forgot. Stone picking is still imminent, so I probably just seeded a bunch of canola that's never going to come to fruition because this part of the field hasn't even had the stones plucked out of yet. Oh, I don't think I ever saw that, Eric. Honest, I mean, no exaggeration. I really don't think I ever saw that. You, car, stop. I will plant you like a canola field. I swear to God I will. And speaking of which, where is my stone picker right now? Like, I sent him on this map and he ran into the barn and stopped. Is that what happened? There you go, Harley. I haven't either, for that matter. That's right, Bambi. We're talking about you. And I don't mean Bambi at the Playboy Mansion. Yep, the helpers screwed this up. It's all their fault. They're to blame. That's an excellent question, Lifehawk, at the moment. That sounds like the perfect plan to me, Yotes. Large sheep. You know, one thing that I will say that Giants did with the FS22 is they really made sheep and chickens a lot more viable now. In my humble opinion. Are you going to plant this for me? Good, because I got to go find my Fent. Did the Massey get done with his contract? 96%. Let's see how bad he screwed it up. Oh, it's just that one little section down there. Yep, I remember that. Now, one thing that I discovered, Yotes, and believe it or not, this comes from Sharko, and it makes complete sense. Gary. When it comes to productions, make sure that... Oh gosh, I've only got 13 liters of herbicide left. Really? Really? You used up 2,000 liters of herbicide on this field? And we're empty. I guess we're going to have the store deliver some to this guy's yard. Store deliveries mod for the win. If I can jump over the boom, I can't jump over the boom. So for example, if you are trying to make clothing, having cotton and wool working at the same time will do you better than just having cotton, because the factory will process both products at the same time, so you will actually end up with more. Well, this explains why he went through 2,000 liters of herbicide. He does not move very quickly on this. So, for example, if I had a grain mill and I had just wheat in it, it would produce, let's say, for example, 1 pallet a day. But if I had wheat and sorghum in it, it would produce, oh, that's not bad, 27,000. Yeah, I'll take that. We'll go plant that field. If I had wheat and sorghum, it would create 2 pallets a day. If I had wheat, barley, and sorghum, 3 pallets a day. Wheat, barley, oats, and sorghum, 4 pallets a day. And these are not actual figures, ladies and gentlemen, just examples. There you go, cotton. Cotton for the win. Oh my gosh, I harvested so much cotton on Erlengrat. I'm pretty sure they don't grow cotton in Switzerland either. Well, what I did, Lifehawk, was I turned off real speed. I'm reasonably sure it does not. It has a width. Yeah, I can turn off sections, but it doesn't have a double spray or anything like that, if that's what you're getting at. And he was running at real speed, not, or at game speed, not real speed. So oh, absolutely. I've got a massive field on my Erlengrat, and it produces about 90,000 liters of cotton a year. And where am I going from here? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay. I'll run right into my farm. Nope, no. I need to turn left at I need to turn left at Albuquerque. And then start checking in on there is no doing this map without helper. I mean, there is, but if you do it half speed, sure, you can do this map without helpers. But this is a lot for being a 1x map, which it is, there's a lot going on here. Oh, the U.S. produces a lot of cotton, especially in the Southwest, and we've been doing it since the 1700s or earlier. You want to watch a great movie that includes a lot of A, old school farm equipment, which is beautiful, and B, a lot of cotton fields. And C is an absolutely impeccably brilliant movie, and easily in my top 20 movies of all time list, is In the Heat of the Night with Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger. Such a brilliant movie. but it has some fantastic old school farm equipment. It's got some old school cotton picking equipment, stuff like that. I just find it absolutely amazing. But that's hard for you. Oh, Yotes, that's cool. I actually used to live in Phoenix. I lived in Phoenix for about 3 years. I went to school. I have a degree from one of the. I don't think it's there anymore. I think it's actually closed now. But I went to school in Phoenix. It was called the Art Institute of Phoenix, actually, and got an associate's degree in computer animation, which is really why I know what I know to make YouTube videos. So I did actually apply it at some point in my life, but not when I graduated. That's unfortunately for sure. Oh yeah, Lifehawk. It was a Best Picture nominee, or it was a Best Picture winner, and it deserved every accolade that it got. And it was either late 60s or early 70s that it was filmed, and just so much talent in that movie. It's not even funny. Just it's crazy how much talent. Yep, I been there, done that. Used to work when I was in school down there. I used to work for a really crummy. I'm sure you guys will know what I'm talking about, but one of those rent-to-own places called Color Time, which are just horrible, horrible organization. I mean, if you use one and that's your thing, please don't take offense to what I'm saying, but they are really, really bad about ripping people off. Like, really bad. See if we can get some stones picked up here. Get this field, get at least one field planted. Come on. Okay, 1968, very cool. And yeah, we're not going to get all political here, but and it, maybe even the topic's not political, but it can easily swing that way. But yes, it did expose some very important things during the time when civil rights were a very, very big issue in the United States. And that's as far as we're going to go on that topic. Any movie in my top 20 that would be considered unusual? That's a really good question, because I honestly, I generally only think about my top 5. And I pulled top 20 kind of out of my ear because I didn't really know where else to classify that one. Honestly, it's probably in my top 10 if I'm fair. Hmm. That's a good question. I actually have to think about that one. Lifehawk is always good at putting me on the spot like this. Thinking. Well, I mean, we have come a long way since 1968, Eric. But again, that this is where this topic can get very politically charged, and I don't want to go there, man. I don't disagree with you. We have come a long way. Um, Yotes, Shawshank Redemption, that is a brilliant call, my friend. Yeah, Shawshank is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've asked people in chat before, what are your guilty movie pleasures? And I have there are two guilty movie pleasures that I don't think most people appreciate the way I do, but I love them. And the first one is called The Cutting Edge with Moira Kelly and DB Sweeney, where DB Sweeney is an injured hockey player who was destined for the pros, and his injuries stopped him from going to the pros, but he became a figure skater instead. And the other one, the other guilty pleasure for me, is a little movie that I don't think anybody's ever heard of called About Time. A brilliant little look into effectively time travel. Wet coaster, that is brilliant. Betty Whiteout and Control Salt Delete. I agree with you, Yotes. And there's another one, Yotes, that I will throw on top of that. Shawshank Redemption and The Hunt for Red October. The Hunt for Red October is one of those that if it's on, I can't. I don't change channels anymore. I haven't had actual cable subscription in ages and ages. But if I were flipping through the channels and I saw Shawshank or The Hunt for Red October, I could not pass by either one of them. I would have to. At least put it in the memory so that I could come back and watch it, during the commercials or whatever. And Better Off Dead. Better Off Dead is one of those movies nobody knows about except for you and me, man. I loved Better Off Dead. It still cracks me up to this day. I never watched the sequel, Lifehawk, and you're saying that it's actually good. Because that was back in the day, when sequels were trash money grab movies that nobody watched. If it was good, then I might have to go back and watch it. Although, to be fair, you told me Banshee, I think it was called Banshee. You told me Banshee was good, and I tried to watch that, and I got about 4 episodes in and said, this is trash, I won't watch another minute of it. But everybody has different tastes. Not disrespecting your taste. I'm just saying it certainly wasn't mine. Ben, that's a great point too. Rain Man? Man, if you guys haven't watched Rain Man, you are missing out. Rain Man, and for being Tom Cruise, who I'm not going to say is the best actor that ever was, but he has had some brilliant performances And he's with one of the all-time great actors, Dustin Hoffman. Rain Man is pretty fantastic. Let me go back here. No. Shawshank is good, but in no way a number one. No, it's not number one. Oh, it's I'm sorry, Lifehawk. I totally missed something there. I literally read like I think I blended two of your posts together. Like Shawshank is good or something. I think I picked up good, and they made a sequel to The Cutting Edge, and I literally think I like got them both at the same time, and just said, "Oh, he thinks The Cutting Edge sequel was good." Cutting Edge 2 was decent. Yeah, okay. Ghost Pepper, haven't talked to you in a while, man. How are you? Oh, it's been a rough week, man. I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. It's been very rough, but I'm not going to complain. You know? Qantas never crashed. That's right. Qantas never crashed. The Green Mile. That's a good one, Wet Coaster. That's funny. We've talked about Shawshank and the Green Mile. Who knows? And Lifehawk, you can't answer this because I know you know. Who wrote the original stories for the Green Mile and the Shawshank Redemption? And Yotes, you and I are on the same page when it comes to movies, I think, brother, because I love As Good as It Gets also. Jack Nicholson is hilarious in As Good as It Gets. Where did you learn to speak English? Man, if that did it for me, I'd be the luckiest guy in the world. Now, if we really want to geek out, I'll ask you guys what your favorite novels are. Apparently I did, Ben. With my apologies. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Eric. Now be honest. Did you guys Google that? Be honest. Who had to Google the answer? Have you seen The Other Guys? It's a funny movie about two guys that work as police. I don't think I've seen that one. Hey, I'm skimming, all right? I skim chat as I'm trying to drive this bloody tractor. Give me a break. Good God, you guys are as needy as a insecure girlfriend, I swear. Oh, come on. That was funny. That was funny. And yes, I just drove in the stupid ditch again. Come on, Fent. You can pull that piece of garbage out of there. Pull it. Pull. Ha! I got you, sucker. One of my favorite Stephen King quotes of when he stopped printing books and went digital was because he felt he had killed enough trees and already outsold. Yeah, Stephen King is just ridiculous in the number of books he has sold. I don't like his books, but The Green Mile. The Other Guys is one of those movies that makes me almost die laughing. Um, one that really cracks me up, a movie that I love is called Snatch. Have you guys seen Snatch? With Brad Pitt. Oh my God, that movie is just gruesomely hilarious. Oh, here's a good top 5 for you. Now, I like Quentin Tarantino in general, but the best of the best, as far as I'm concerned, from him will always be Pulp Fiction, and that will easily be in my top 10 for all time. That's a movie that people either love or they hate. And I think it's brilliant. Robin Cook, John Jakes, and Tom Clancy. Those are good. That's a good selection there, Eric. Very good selection. I remember reading a Robin Cook in high school called The Sphinx. I think it was called The Sphinx. That was really, really good. I do like Stephen King's books a lot. He has been one of my favorite authors for a long time. One of the reasons is because I think he's misunderstood. I don't believe Stephen King is a horror writer, and a lot of people do, and I think they have generalized him. I don't think he writes the best novels I've ever read. I think he writes the best characters I've ever read. Stephen King's strength is not, especially his endings. His endings tend to be kind of contrived sometimes. They're not the strongest endings to his novels. But his characters are so well thought out. They are so incredibly brilliant. That's where his real strength as a writer lies. He can develop a character like there is no frickin' tomorrow. Let's see. I think one day, a rainy day, you should rent The Other Guys or search it as a really funny. You'll fall out of your seat. Okay, all right, Bradley. Duly noted. Pulp Fiction launched the genre and showed the true genius of Quentin, not only as a writer and storyteller. Yeah, I agree with that, Lifehawk. Absolutely. You and I are on the same page, generally speaking. We just don't agree about Banshee. It would be kind of boring if we agreed about everything, right? I think so, anyway. Stephen King is his own genre. I'm not so sure about that necessarily. Although he does explore a lot of topics that a lot of people normally wouldn't. And yeah, these fields, because they're so tight, I think I am going to have to paint out some of the edges in order to make them genuinely workable, especially by helpers. Because my planter has already gotten hung up again. Can't agree with you more on that one, Lifehawk. Spoofing, airplane, absolutely. You can't beat airplane. Timmy, do you like gladiator movies? Hi, I'm a helper who's hung up on something, so I'm going to sit here and drive into a wall for an hour and a half and just keep charging you money for it. Brilliant. Good God, stupid helper. Really? You're out of liquid fertilizer already? Oh, that's a good one actually, Lifehawk. Spaceballs, Mel Brooks in general for stupid comedy? Absolutely. Yotes Spaceballs. A brilliant, brilliant spoof on the whole Star Wars genre by Mel Brooks. Featuring Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet. And John Candy as... what was his name? Barf. Short for... it was Barf. B-A-R-F. Short for Bartholomew. He was half man, half dog. He was his own best friend. Oh, you completed your task, did you? Really? This map is going to be kind of a pain in my proverbial tuchus. It really does not want to work and play well. Yep, Bill Pullman, Daphne Zuniga, who really didn't do much of anything else that I'm aware of any value before or after. I think she got her start on Family Ties with Michael J. Fox. Then she did Spaceballs, and then she disappeared from the face of the earth. That's just me, but Lifehawk will pull some obscure piece of trivia out of his backside here momentarily. Wet Coaster, good call. Never give up, never surrender. Galaxy Quest is a brilliant spoof on Trekkies and their deep, deep desire to be part of the Star Trek franchise. Galaxy Quest, Tim Allen, Tony Shalhoub, Sigourney Weaver, and the late and incredibly great Alan Rickman, which most people probably know best, unfortunately, for his role as, whatever evil guy he played in the Harry Potter series. I'm sure one of you will tell me. Oh, can you run the field now? Can you do it now? Oh, you can do it now. Good for you. Apparently, let's see. Goldfinger and Sphinx are hard to find her, but I have all of Robin's other books. Oh, that's interesting. I actually have I think somewhere there's a picture of me holding that book, Sphinx. I wish I would have stolen it from the library now. If that was a hard one to come by. Of course, to be fair, I was 16 and fairly impressionable, so who knows how good the quality really was, but you get the point. Apparently, they were hesitant to carry Sigourney Weaver because they wanted people who had never been in a sci-fi movie. Or cast. Yeah, I get it. Snape. Yes, he was also Gruber in Die Hard. He had some really other brilliant roles, too. I mean, I'm not going to say that the Kevin Costner version of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, was a brilliant movie or anything, but Alan Rickman was pretty spectacular in it. All right, have a good night, Wet Coaster. Take care, Gary. We will see you soon, man. Bradley, have you seen... No, Bradley. I'm not sure what you're asking, but I'm not going to read that four-letter word you posted. Family friendly, my friend. Family friendly. So, something I like to watch. The Next Generation. You talking about Star Trek The Next Generation? I used to enjoy that back in the day when it was regularly on television. Yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights with Morgan Freeman, Kevin Costner, and Alan Rickman, who was playing the evil sheriff of Nottingham. Best American accent for a Brit ever. Worst American accent for a Brit ever was what's her name in Titanic? Smoking hot redhead. But man, is her American accent awful. Just horrid. And yeah, give me 5 minutes and I will think of her name. No worries, Bradley. No worries. I figured it was some mistake. I wasn't blaming you for anything, man. Just, I figured something got mistyped somewhere. I know you're not like that, man, so don't even sweat it. I might have a field of canola planted before this is over. But man, time is going by. Oh, he didn't even try. He didn't even try, Gary. He didn't even pretend to have a British accent. There are two great movies with Carrie. I still to this day don't know how to pronounce his name. Cary Elwes. Elwes. The first one, obviously, is The Princess Bride and The Dread Pirate Roberts. If you don't love The Princess Bride, there is something wrong with you. Something very, very wrong with you. And the other one is called Glory with Matthew Broderick, and it's about the American Civil War and the 53rd Massachusetts Infantry, the first black infantry to fight in the American Civil War. Brilliant movies, both of them for very, very different reasons. And if you can teach me how to pronounce Cary Elwes' name, by all means, give it your best shot. Thank you, Ben. Kate Winslet. That's right. I don't know why I can't remember her name right now, but that's who it was. Oh, Ben, if you want to see some cringe, watch Canoe and Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean, this is a movie by Francis Ford Coppola, one of the preeminent directors of all time. And he cast Canoe in a British movie and forced Canoe to try to adapt a British accent that is absolutely positively horrific. It's so bad, I actually think I could do it better, and I suck at British accents. Agreed, Mr. Corbin, agreed. I loved Glory. Loved it. That might be an unusual top 20 movie for me. Lifehawk, since you asked earlier. What would be included on that list that's unusual? Glory. Now, if you want to see somebody who does Shakespeare brilliantly, Kenneth Branagh. There's another one that somebody might consider unusual that could easily be on one of my top lists is Henry V, the Kenneth Branagh version of Henry V. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Shakespeare, but Branagh did it so well. It's incredible. Yotes, that's a good one too. Dr. Strangelove, great call, man. Talk about satire. Anthony Hopkins is one of those unusual actors. He kind of destroyed his career and then rebounded and to a point where he can virtually do no wrong. Like, he is just... And I just watched Silence of the Lambs again. Was it last night or the night before? And his Hannibal Lecter is just... will always be the Hannibal Lecter now. A census taker tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. He put the creepy in creep factor there. Disturbing, to say the least. In a good way. All right, here's one for you. Actors that you know so well from one particular role that when they do another role, you can't quite grasp them being in that role. And I will tell you mine. I don't know his name, but in the Matrix movie, the original Matrix movie, the guy who played Agent Smith, and then the Lord of the Rings came out. Lord of the Rings could easily be up there in my top 20 also. All three of them. The Hobbit, forget about it. Those are garbage. They're not even worth watching. But The Lord of the Rings, brilliant. But the guy who played Agent Smith in The Lord of the Rings, or in in The Matrix, and then he came back to play Elrond in The Lord of the Rings, I couldn't see past Agent Smith, and I kept expecting him to walk up to Frodo and just look at him and lower his sunglasses and go, Mr. Baggins, in that Agent Smith voice. Every time I watch it, I swear to God, and I own all three movies. I'm telling you, Ken. Bradley, yes, I have watched The Patriot, a Mel Gibson movie. That was very good also. Hugh Lowry completely surprised me when I found out he wasn't Hugh. Who is Hugh Lowry? That's one I'm not familiar with. Morgan Freeman killed his career and made a huge comeback. I don't recall Morgan Freeman killing his career and making a huge comeback, but they're not the only ones, dude. Anthony Hopkins did kill his career and made a huge comeback, and so did the guy who, I can't remember his name now, but the guy who played the Colonel on the TV series version of the A-Team. George Papard. He was a guy who killed his career and then made a huge comeback. Hugo Weaving is amazing. That's the guy. Christopher Lloyd will always be Doc Brown. Oh, that's a fair point, Lifehog. And I watched a movie today on Amazon called The Tender Bar. It's an interesting flick. I like character-driven flicks. This definitely was one. And Christopher Lloyd was in that, actually, as the grandfather. Although, I could easily raise the argument, because I was a Taxi fan back in the day. Christopher Lloyd originally... I don't remember his character from Taxi. I think it was Jim. Jim something. Jim the mechanic or something. And that crazy character he played on Taxi... I think it was the Reverend Jim. The Reverend Jim. And if you've never seen the Reverend Jim from Taxi, I strongly suggest you look it up. Because it's pretty brilliant. No, not typecasting. I'm talking about people who have, in some way, either publicly or privately damaged their careers to a point where it looked like they may never work in television or movies again. That's what I'm talking about. Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka. See, that one I can't see because I've seen too many Gene Wilder movies, especially Blazing Saddles. And all the work that he did with Richard Pryor. But I do get the point. Top comeback, John Travolta. That's a good one. And you want to talk about typecasting or typecasting, really. Travolta was one of those, and he really did make a brilliant comeback. That's a fair point. Drew Barrymore? Maybe. That's a little bit of a stretch, dude. Come on. I mean, she was a little kid. She had one major role in E.T., and then she started drinking and partying when she was like 11 years old. But still, it's not like she had a major career to destroy to begin with. But yes, she did pull her life together. Kudos to Drew Barrymore. And she did, in fact, do exceptionally well. Oh, destroy Mickey Rourke is a very good one, actually. Mickey Rourke destroyed his career so bad that he had to have plastic surgery to revive it. That's actually almost not an exaggeration. Poor guy. Joaquin Phoenix? Oh, I don't recall Joaquin Phoenix destroying his career, but Robert Downey Jr., that is a brilliant one. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. before Iron Man was pretty much nobody. He was a teenage superstar, early 20s superstar, and got into the whole drug and alcohol scene and kind of destroyed everything that he had worked up to. And came back. We all know and love him to this day at this point. So, again, it's not over till it's over, man. The 80s show Riptide. That sounds really familiar. Riptide. I'm trying to think what that was. And no, Mr. Helper, there's one more pass to do on this field, but you're not gonna. There's actually a couple more passes to do on this field. At least the stones are off 2 fields. I got that going for me. Oh, let's see. No, Madonna doesn't count. Madonna's not an actress. She's a personality. Oh, absolutely, Yotes. I love Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. Great movie. I mean, it's not going to ever be considered a classic movie, but it is still a fun movie to watch. And who doesn't love Rodney Dangerfield? Seriously. Good call, Lifehawk. Magnum PI was a lot of fun to watch, and it's kind of what cemented Tom Selleck as an American icon. Well, to be fair, Tom Selleck and his mustache. Right? Absolutely right. Anyway, guys, that's 3 hours that I have no idea where they disappeared. And I don't feel like I accomplished very much on these incredibly huge fields. But I think that's going to do it for me for tonight. As always, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Fridays are very casual. We just do our thing and chit-chat about whatever. A lot of times it turns to movies, but, you know, it is what it is. My pleasure, Lifehawk. Thank you so much. And yes, Rodney Dangerfield gets no respect whatsoever. Anyway, guys, look for me on Sunday with Caveman and Shurka, where we are back on Elm Creek. And, well, we're really moving our farms forward. I think everybody's doing a great job. Anyway, as always, I very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.